my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. Yes. Come on now. I see you rocking at home. Yeah. It's a beautiful day. The day the Lord has made. Let us be joyful. Let us be loved. Let us be peace. I start my day with joy. I feel that sweet. Come on, I hear you. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy. And I feel that sweet release. Easy. Day with love, love is easy. Day with peace. I start my day with joy. And I feel that sweet release. Yes, thank you. I saw you standing. We saw you. Unity in Harlem. We saw you. Thank you for standing. Thank you. Kwesi.
Thank you, Tom, for that wonderful song. I start my day. Now for the Unity in Harlem announcements. Unity in Harlem Community Service. Unity Harlem conducts meditation at Phillips every Thursday. You can call in with our link at 212-222-3470 for the link. Unity in Harlem does meditation with Morehouse for the elderly. You can call in for that and also do our Zoom calling in. Unity in Harlem Zoom connection. Phone number is 696-428-2725 by phone. 929-205-6099. The passcode is 77777. That's 7 sevens. Unity Harlem has our Tuesday study group. Please join us. It's the message for that topic is the Sermon on the Mountain by Emmett Fox. Every Friday at 6 p.m., Unity Harlem have our prayer circle. It's release and let go and comfort of prayer. Unity Harlem has our gospel gram for the month of November. Please check our Facebook page. If anyone have any personal needs or matters they'd like to speak to the minister, senior minister, please call 646-481-1844. Next month is November, and we were talking about Thanksgiving kindness to you. We have a very special announcement that I want to announce. Unity Harlem on Sunday, November 24th, we will be doing Unity Harlem Thanksgiving. We were giving back to all those people who have joined us, who have supported us throughout the year. It's a day that we say we love you. We love you all the time, but we love you and we appreciate you. So, all my members that's online, that's comfort of your home, we invite you. We encourage you. We need you in the house, celebrating and eating with us. Please, if you forgot the address is 318 West 139th Street. We will have a small service. After small service, we will have a feast, and we will be giving awards to those who need one. So, if you think you can get an award, you have to show up. So, also now we will take this moment and prepare ourselves for meditation. For the meditation song, it will be the Lord's Prayer by Thompson. And then, I'm sorry, affirmation. We're going to affirmation, but and then we will prep for a song of our meditation preparation song, the Lord's Prayer by Thompson. And then we will have after meditation, then we will have the introduction of our speaker for the day by Reverend Carroll.
Isaiah 55 verse 11 says, "So shall my word be that goes out from my mouth. It shall not return to me empty, but it shall accomplish that which I purpose, and shall succeed in the thing for which I sent it. Unity affirmations speak to the power of our words, and particularly the power of I am. And so we say this affirmation every Sunday to affirm our divine nature. The words are on the screen, and I invite you to say them with me. I am an abundant, radiating center of God's love and light for peace, healing, and inner truth for all.
So what a time now, as we prepare for the rest of the service with our wonderful guest speaker and all the love and joy and peace that we just sang about. We get to participate in that in our inner self. So we invite you here, and we invite you at home to close your eyes if you care to go inside and to start being with that peace. Oh, Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debt as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory meditation right here. Crazy.
Let us center ourselves to come to in our seats as we prepare to be at rest. Let's take a deep breath in and hold it and release. Let's take a deep breath in of love. Let's hold it in as we release sadness. Let's take a deep breath in and hold it on faith. Release. As we prepare to get comfortable in our seats, let our body relax. Let our breathing from our head, let the air go through our brain, in and out our nostrils. Let's feel, concentrate, and feel the heartbeat. Let's focus on our heartbeat. And we allow our soul to be at rest. As we hear our heart, concentrate and hear our heartbeat and control our breathing. Just focus on the amazing week we just accomplished. The gifts that God has given us, the universe has given us. There may be some stumbles during the week, but those are gifts of lessons. Just concentrate on the positive and the negative of what we see it. Let's concentrate on that disagreement we had this week with somebody on the train, a co-worker, or a friend or family member. Let's breathe and concentrate and breathe love into that thought. Let's concentrate and breathe forgiveness in that disagreement. Let's breathe and concentrate and give thanksgiving. As we move on, down breathing through our mind, our bodies. Feel the air filling our lungs. As the air fills our lungs, we just feel grateful. Grateful to survive the amazing week we just had. As we prepare to put things at rest, just get comfortable in your seat and allow your body to get heavy. As you sink deeper and deeper into the seat, as you hear my voice, just want you to concentrate on the word of affirmation today was creativity. Just be creative. As you feel the air get into your stomach and your belly, as you feel the air of love, responsibility, and growth. Just focus on relaxing and realizing today is a day of grace. As we focus on my voice, your body get heavier. Just focus on your breathing. As you can feel the air in the room and around you, you feel it tingling on your body. That's the universe hugging you, letting you know. Release and be at rest. Allow your soul to be at rest once more. As you feel the air go down to your pelvis area, as you feel more and more comfortable, just lay back and allow the universe to take control. As you hear the word ringing in your ears, your head, thank you, thank you. Just focus on saying thank you to the universe. It was amazing and powerful what you just accomplished. So as your legs get heavier, you sink deeper and deeper into your seat. Just remember, God has control. The universe is guiding you. Just rest. No worries. No desires. All gifts are being given to you. Just concentrate on the blessings of last week. The lessons of last week. The amazing gifts that allow you to be here today. That allow you to be at home in the presence where you are now. One with the Spirit. Just lay back. Relax. Allow your soul to be at rest. Allow our spiritual big brother to guide us. As you take a breath, deep breath, hold it for 7 seconds. Release. Body should feel lighter. Take another deep breath in. Hold it for 5. Release. Every take a moment in silence, just to allow the universe as we center ourselves in consciousness, prepare ourselves to come back. We are ready and equipped to accept the amazing gifts that we're going to receive next week. The universe has spoken. God has spoken to you. Listen to the message and know that you are blessed. Know that you are the mother of all the gods' child, and you will be blessed. As you turn back to consciousness, take a deep breath in, release as we accept God's gifts. And remember to be at rest. Allow the Spirit to guide you. Ashe.
Sorry. One can see that I really know what I'm doing.
Another opportunity.
Another opportunity. Well, media expert I leave to Bob.
Yeah. Opportunities.
Uh,
All right.
want me to hold it?
Yeah.
Shall I hold it?
Yes.
Okay. So it knows better. Well, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. So good to see you here. And good to know that we have friends who are listening in the comfort of the space that they are in. It's a wonderful opportunity for me to simply, begin by saying thank you to Kwesi for those quieting moments, so for us to center ourselves and be here now and be open and receptive, especially to our guest speaker, who I will say a few words about. And then to Tommie for his very familiar to most of us ability to sing. So thank you to him. And of course, thank you to the helpers who come early every Sunday and assist. And especially to Bob, who's here before I get here and does his wonderful work for me to be seen and everything else that goes with it. Today is a very pleasant opportunity for me to be able to stand here and welcome Janie Marie Manigault to Unity in Harlem. It's a pleasure for several reasons. All of us know Reverend Marilyn Jackson, who's a great friend to Unity in Harlem. And one day we're talking, as we talk every week about something, mostly it's something for me. And we were talking and she mentioned a person who had the last name Manigault. And we just went on talking. But as I thought about it, I said to her, you know, and not at that call, it was another call. I said, I knew a family named Manigault, because now that's an odd name. You don't hear that running around all the time, right? You know, you hear Hunt everywhere, but you don't hear Manigault. And so I said to her, you know that name, I grew up with a family of Manigaults at Compton Baptist Church, where I grew up, and had such a great time. And I said, ask her the next time you talk to her if she knows anything about convent. And she did, and lo and behold, the message came back. Yeah, she heard something about convent a couple of times from her family. And and she got my number and we called and chatted. And lo and behold, it's the same family that I grew up with.
Wow.
It reminds me how the circle of spirituality is always present. And when you're in the space of that spirituality, things come in that space automatically to me, because that's the real space. The other space is just the space that we move about and do the things we do every day. But the real space is the spiritual space. Many times we're not aware of it, that we're really moving in this space. So when we're in the consciousness of that space, we draw to ourselves if indeed we are living in that space. And that's how I feel about Janie and our connection, because we're in that space. And because of her, who I knew, her father, who I learned back when I was in the beginning years of being a licensed teacher in Unity, found out he was the organist at Unity in Flushing. And when I found that out, I called up. I said, is this Mr. Manigault that I know? Sure enough. So you see that space is always where we're really living. So it's a real pleasure for me to welcome it and introduce Janie Marie Manigault to you. She is a member of Unity in Valley Stream, where she is serving as Associate Spiritual Leader and Director of their AV Media program, and also is a prayer chaplain. That's a lot. Blessings. She is currently a Unity Urban Ministerial student on the ordination path, becoming a minister. Raised in Unity, she is familiar with New Thought principles, which I'm sure has guided her professionally as an educator for over 35 years. What a background. You can imagine my surprise when I learned what I shared earlier with you. After many years, it seems this circle of spiritual searching and pursuit has manifested from one generation to another generation, with splendid results. So please welcome Janie Marie Manigault. Here, Janie. Let's get this back.
Okay. You want me to hold it?
I think we got it.
Okay,
Is that all right?
that's fine. That is fine.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Raise your right hand. I'm gonna swear you in right hand. Oh, raise your let's see. Let me see if I can try here. All right.
Oh, to turn it around.
Yeah. Turn green.
That's
Okay. But it wants now it wants to follow me. Let's see.
okay. I'll be good.
She's gonna be patient.
I'll be good.
All right.
You're
You're good.
But thank you for this opportunity. Before I
Yes.
forget, let me kind of close the circle a little bit more. So when I mentioned to my father, right, Carlson kids, and so he's like, "Oh, I don't know that." I said, "Okay." I said, "The Common Avenue Baptist Church." He says, "Oh." So yes, and believe it or not, the conversation that Mary Carol and I had was just before we were going to have a family gathering. So I mean, I was able to share that with my uncle, the other brother, and so they had a few moments, and they talked about Common Avenue Baptist Church. So it was truly a joy to hear that.
That's fair.
But I do thank you for this opportunity. I thank you for being able to come. So I want to ask you, when you greet someone every morning during the day, we say good morning, but then we say, how are you? And what we're really asking is, how does God's divine presence work? That's what we're really saying. Because they say, oh, I'm good. That means it's working good. Right? Oh, I'm okay. So today we're going to look at making the most of God's divine presence. Now that is something that we want, that is something that we desire, something that we strive for. So I want you to take this time and I want you to affirm with me. God's divine presence surrounds me, fills me, and guides me. Say that with me. God's divine presence surrounds me, fills me, and guides me. So today I want to take a deeper look into Unity's first principle, that God is absolute good. God is everywhere present. And this principle is the cornerstone of our faith. It's that constant reminder that the presence of God is not something far away. It's immediate. It's here, right now. And in Unity, I find us as practicing Christians. We recognize the divine presence in times of joy, but we also recognize it in times of opportunities. So I live this truth. I live this truth. And I'd like to tell you a story, and I've told it before, and it's basically the same story, but it comes out a little different. The name of the story is called Janie Marie Finds a Key. Now, I want you to take a minute and imagine a little girl about 6 or 7. The Sunday school teacher places the lesson in front of her. She reads the scripture like she always did. And this time the scripture said, Matthew 21:22, and all things ye shall ask in prayer, believing ye shall receive. She liked that one. She liked that scripture. Now, did she like it because it was from Matthew? And she could always find Matthew easily in the Bible, because that's where all the red words started. Or did she like it because the numbers 21:22 were easy to remember? You see, it didn't matter. She liked that scripture. After Sunday school, little Janie runs up to her daddy and says, Daddy, did you know that Matthew 21:22 says, and all things ye shall ask in prayer, believing ye shall receive? He looked at her, he laughed, he took her hand. You see, he knew that she took the scripture literally. Now, I don't know what I asked my father for that day. And I don't know if I got it, but I do know and I do remember the joy I experienced from learning that scripture. I went home and I opened that big Bible on the coffee table. And I looked in there to make sure that it was in that Bible too. I remember saying it to my dolls when I was playing house. I remember saying it to my stuffed animals when I was playing school. I said it over and over again. Now, what little Janie Marie did not know was that she was embedding it into her subconscious mind, so that adult Janie Marie could draw on it. Now, recently, when I took a metaphysical class and we learned about how our thoughts create our belief systems, and our belief systems is how we see the world, and we swim in these collective beliefs. I realized it didn't matter if that scripture was easy to find. It didn't matter that the numbers were 21:22. I realized that little Janie Marie had just found a key to life. And that key I needed. As I said, I was an active child, and somewhere in my adult life, I lost mobility, where I was barely walking 200 steps a day. Thought I was going to be in a nursing home. But I made the most of God's divine presence. There was always a ram in the bush. I went to work every day in the snow on time. My daughter never missed a birthday party, and I was at every parent-teacher conference.
Sure.
You see, knowing the truth and standing on the foundation of my unity principles, I made the most of God's divine presence. And I affirmed like Myrtle Fillmore, and I healed my body. Now, Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, says, we must have the mind of God in all of our affairs. We must get our inspirations and our instructions and our realizations from him and act accordingly with them. Now, what Charles Fillmore was encouraging us to do is to continually turn to God's presence, to continually look and make the most of it. So let's consider how the Bible tells us. Could we put up the scripture? Thank you. So I want you to read with me Psalm 139:7. Let's read it together. Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there. If I rise on the wings of the dawn, If I settle on the far side of the sea, even there your hand will guide me. Your right hand will hold me fast. There is no place or separation from God's divine presence. And this scripture is our beautiful reminder that God's presence is truly everywhere at all times. All right, so how many of you have been stuck in traffic? All right. So when you were stuck in traffic, did you go, oh, I'm stuck in traffic, I'm not gonna make it, I'm gonna be late? Or did you recognize God's divine presence? Did you look at that overpass and say, ooh, I am so glad that those skilled hands made it so it won't fall, so that cars can go over it and I can go under safely? Did you take the minute in that traffic to recognize that big oak tree and the squirrel running up, finding his home? You see, God's divine presence was even in the traffic. Did you recognize God's divine presence and say, maybe I wasn't supposed to be there yet? Or maybe that was your opportunity to take a breath and slow down. Maybe that was the only time that you were going to get to sit that day and be at peace. So God's divine presence is in traffic too. For in every breath that we take, in every action that we perform, we are immersed in the presence. You know, living it, seeing it everywhere, makes a difference. And in order to do that, I'm going to take a minute, I want to reflect on the divine faculty of understanding. Now, this faculty allows us to perceive, comprehend, and connect with His presence. Without understanding, there's no connection. So when we use our spiritual understanding, we are better able to see God's good, even in situations that appear difficult on the surface. We've all had a challenge at work. Things felt overwhelming, couldn't see a clear way forward. So however, instead of allowing fear, instead of allowing frustration to consume us, make the most of God's divine presence. Pause. Take a breath. And affirm God's good. Know that it's there in the situation. And we're going to lean on the understanding, reminding us that there is a solution, that there is peace, and there is wisdom. I just need it to be revealed. So affirming God's presence allows us, our consciousness, our mindset to shift. Because it's the way that we see the situation. It's not necessarily that the situation will change, but it's the way that we view it and the way that we dwell within it that changes. One of my favorites, Eric Butterworth, he says it this way. He says, we stand tall and seek to relate to life and to the experiences from the greatness within us. From the great me, the big me, the Christ self, the God self, the presence of God expressing as us, which is guiding direct influence in our lives. If we stop, listen, and relate to it, we are guided by it. So in my struggles at work and in your struggles at work, it's realizing that the opportunities are moments of growth. And I'm standing here because I took the opportunities as moments of growth. You know, Kwesi referred to Jesus as our way shower, and Jesus made the most of God's divine presence. He used I am statements, and he used them to refer to himself, and he said, I am the bread of life. He didn't just affirm it, he believed it wholeheartedly. Just like that little Janie Marie, he realized that through prayer and faith, we make the most of God's divine presence. Jesus was aware of his divinity. And since we are made in the image and likeness, and we are aware, because I'm not going to even ask because I know we are, aware of our divinity, we are the bread of life. We are the light of the world. Think about this. What do you say to yourself after you get up, rush out to work on public transportation, or drive, stuck in traffic, work 8 hours or maybe even 10 hours, commute home, make something to eat, check on things in the house, throw in a load of laundry, let's say check on some children or someone else that you take care of? What do you say? Do you say, I am tired? Or do you say, I am blessed and grateful that I was able to do all that I needed to do today? Same situation. But it is our way that we perceive it. If we make the most of God's presence, then we perceive it as a blessing. That we were able to do all of that. Those two words, the I am, is the truth of your being. And no one can say I am for you but you. You can't say it for your children. I would love to say it for my daughter. I would love to say, right? I am. You can't, right? She has to say it for herself. So when we say I am, we are announcing the presence of God within. And we are making the most. Your I am consciousness is how you change your world. So I want to practice a little I am-ness, I call that. Goes back to my Sunday school teaching days, but I'm like, okay, it's time for some I am-ness practice, because I would hear some thoughts of like, we need to change some things. So I just want you to think about a word. We're just going to have to say 5 I am statements, and you're just going to come up with 5 different words to recognize the presence of the divine spirit within you. Everybody got it? All right. So we don't have to say them together. We're just going to say I am, and you are going to fill in that spot with your present word. All right, let's go. I am healthy. I am strong. I am great. I am everything. I am divine. That minute, that 30 seconds will change your perspective in any situation. Like I said, I live the truth, and I sit in my car and I'm like, okay, I am. You know, this wasn't in my talk, but let me show you God's divine presence. And like I said, I live it. My first time traveling here, my daughter, a little nervous. Mom, you gonna be all right? Yeah, I'm going with you. Okay. Something came up and she couldn't come. Well, like I said, there's always a man in the bush. She got on the phone. She called a friend. I need you to go with my mom. Right? But what I'm saying is, I didn't have to. I didn't have to look. I didn't have to ask. And my friend said, well, why didn't you ask me? Well, why not? Because God's divine presence had already put it into work. You know, so living the mindset makes a difference. Makes a difference. So we all know that if a word is consciously spoken, with the intention of expressing a divine idea, it becomes an affirmation. And there is nothing, well, I won't say that, but the power of an affirmation is there's no words to express it. So my dear friends, living from this first principle isn't about ignoring the challenges. It's not about saying that it's not there. It's facing them with the awareness that there is a guiding light, that there is a solution. It's understanding and recognizing that God is there in both the calm and the storm. In every situation, we are connected to God's infinite wisdom and unending good. I call him my friend Eric Butterworth because when I was little and he was in Manhattan, my mother would talk about him because we were kind of just stuck at Unity of Flushing because my father was the organist and had to be there. But there were occasions that we would go to Manhattan when my mother would talk about Eric Butterworth and Johnny Coleman and in the car, she's, so it's embedded in the back of the consciousness. So he is one of my favorites. And he said, you are a spiritual being and God is the very root of your being. There is no separation between you and God except your thoughts. My mother would say this kind of stuff and I'd be like, okay, we'll just continue on, but it was going in. And this quote from Eric Butterworth, it highlights the unity principle that God's presence is within us. And any separation of God is an illusion created by our limited thinking. So as I said, we are practicing Christians. So how do we practice? How do we live? How do we make the most of this presence? It takes work. I tell my congregation all the time, it takes work. It takes conscious, mental awareness work. I know every day we get up and we read our daily word, we say our prayers, we meditate. But I'm going to ask you, I'm going to challenge you this week, that in the morning you take another moment and you affirm God's presence for all areas of your life that day. And something as simple as saying, God's good is everywhere, will shift your mindset. You need to shift the mindset. Reverend Carroll talked about the Manigault family, and my grandmother, whom I'm named after, they tell me I'm like her. When she said something, you did it. You didn't ask, you didn't question it, you did it. So I remember the first time going somewhere with her and getting in the back of the car, and I'm with my cousins, and I'm like, oh, yes, we're gonna have fun and talking. And go. And my grandmother started the Lord's Prayer and the 23rd Psalm. And what did I do? I said it because you did what you were supposed to do. And they're saying it, and I'm looking around, I'm like, okay, all right. And on our way back, we get in the car. And we said it again. So as I got older, I realized that my grandmother was changing the mindset for the trip. She went to the Baptist church and believed Baptist, but yet she was using God's divine presence to change the mindset, to shift, to raise the consciousness of everybody in the car and everybody that we were going to interact with. And she did this. And we did it. So I daily change my mindset. We also have to take the time to see the good in the challenges and see the opportunities for growth. You're sitting in traffic, find an opportunity for growth. Take a breath. Breathe, because you know what? At least now you're not running around. There is good in this situation as well. And this will open our hearts and our mind to the creative solutions that divine guidance is there. And thirdly, after we've changed our mindset and we've seen the good, we have to give gratitude. We have to show our grace. And at the end of each day, reflect on where you witnessed the presence. Find the challenge of the day and see how it turned out good. Remember that work situation? Maybe the good thing was that you held your tongue and you didn't say the words that you wanted to say. Could be something as simple as that. Because today we're going to make the most of God's divine presence in our lives. Say that. Today I make the most of God's divine presence in my life. Say it again. Today I make the most of God's divine presence in my life. So I challenge you this week. I invite you to lean into your understanding that God is truly everywhere. In your joys, in your struggles, in the mundane or in the extraordinary. Remember that by recognizing the presence, we align ourselves. We raise our consciousness, we shift our mindset, and we allow divine wisdom and peace and grace to spring forth. So in closing, may we all strive to live with the awareness that as children of God, we are never separate from the divine. The more we affirm and live from this truth, the more we open ourselves to experiencing the fullness of the life of God. Go forth and make the most of God's divine presence. Thank you.
Thank spiritual Manigault for letting us feel good. And I certainly hope the audience that we cannot see feels as good as well. We do affirm God's presence, everywhere present, but to be heard and reminded about it with wonderful examples and scripture reference that literally just says there's no place to go where we just quickly say sometime where God is not. So thank you so much for bringing us that message and reminder. We won't quickly forget about it. We take a moment now to offer prayer together and lead right into our giving experience. And so we go to that familiar place within us, that quiet place, that place where we know we are in the presence surrounded by the safety and security of that presence. And take a moment now to truly focus and make the most of the presence right now. Let yourself feel peace, love, gentleness, comfort, praise, that all of it is right now, where you are, where we are. We give thanks for this awareness, and we commit to being more aware of the message of the presence of Spirit, truly enfolding us and going before us and being the presence behind us. Let this be our watchword as the day unfolds and as we go forth into the next day and the next day. In the name of the I Am Presence, we say yes. And we think now about our gift. The gift that flows from us, that we share with our world every day and today. We hold this gift in our hand and in our heart. Saying thank you for the power to give. One experience, giving and receiving. As we give, so we receive. We give liberally and easily. We have received liberally and easily from the presence within us. And now we share in the prayer we say together every Sunday. I will say it first, and then you can join me in repeating it. Divine love flowing through me blesses and increases all that I give and all that I receive. Shall we know it together? Divine love flowing through me blesses and increases all that I give and all that I receive. So be it.
I was going to say, I don't know about you, but I'm not going to say that. I know about you. I know you're just as full as I am. Can we give it up again for a guest speaker? We can clap and we can say, yeah. We can say, Ashe. Thank you for the opportunity today. And so we have an opportunity now to just bring it to fruition. In this moment, we get the opportunity to stand, loosen up, put our bags down, yes, and be able to share, knowing that more than enough, there's more than enough in the universe, there's more enough on the planet, there's more enough for humanity. Why should I worry? Why should I doubt? Are you with me? We're gonna bring it home? Turn it on up, Bob. Thank you. Let's do this. There is more than enough in the universe that you created. There is more than enough on a planet of sacred design. Let me see the smile. There is more than enough for humanity made in your image. Why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I ever think I'd go without again? Why worry? Why would I? Yeah. Why would I ever think I'd go without? Your infinite love made me, made everything I see, and all that could ever be is your infinite love. Let my soul know the truth, whatever I choose to do, your infinite love will prove more than enough. Back to the top. There's more than enough in the universe, more than enough in the universe that you created. Our opportunity. There is more than enough on a planet of sacred design. There is more than enough for humanity and why? Why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I think that I go without? Yes. Why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I? Come on. Can you return us today? Come on. Come on. In everything I see, every land is your infinite love. Let the world know the truth. Whatever I choose to do, your infinite love will prove more than enough. Your infinite love in me, made everything I see, and all that there ever be is your infinite love. Let the world know the truth. Whatever I choose to do, your infinite love will prove more than enough. More than enough. More than enough. What an opportunity. Thank you. Ashe.
Ready for prayer protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. So now we'll have our prayer, our peace song. Our peace song. So come, Tom.
Ladies gather around me.
Good looking crowd. Good looking.
Shall we go together? Let there be peace on earth. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be a joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. With us.
Everybody gets a hug.
Yay.